Estimated at 50 to 100 pounds for 13 vintage picture frames. I want to buy them, as well as this rather lovely 19th century Chinese bowl on stand, estimated at 300 to 400 pounds. I want to buy it. And I want to buy this Art Nouveau, dated 1918. It is a silver picture frame with an estimate of 60 to 80 pounds. Let's get started. Shall we try and buy some antiques? Well, what an interesting lot this is. So 13 picture frames, you know, Art Nouveau, maybe into the 1920s. So a good 100 years of age, great quality in brass. And as you can see by the photographs, quite obviously they've come from one family who have been collecting these things, no doubt over generations. So if only these people could speak. I don't know about you, but I really quite like looking at old pictures of people long gone. It's quite heartwarming, really. But anyway, never mind that. Let's talk about money. So 50 to 100 pounds is the estimate. Now, these are ideal for my shop, and if you're starting out in the antiques business, this is a perfect trade lot. So I could sell these for 20 to 30 pounds each. It would take some time to sell them, estimated at 50 to 100. So I'm going to bid up to 100, 25% commission. So they'll owe me 125 if I get them. But what lovely little profit makers these are over a period of time. So that's my bid, that's my estimate. I think they'll make 100 quid. What about you? Put your estimate on, see if you're better than me. See if you can beat the expert. Let's go and find out how much they sell for. And here we are, bidding from home. This is Thomas Watson Auctioneers, Darlington, but they're having some problems with their sound. So we can't hear Peter Robinson. He's the owner of the auction. We can't hear him, but we can see him, and I'm going to talk you through it. The next lot will be the picture frames. Here they come. And there they are. So the auctioneer is asking for 30. I'm going to jump pretty quick. Oh, it's gone up to 40. I'm going to jump in here. Outbid straight away. It's 50, 60. I'm going to jump in. I was in the lead. It's gone on again to 75. Jump in. I've been outbid. Come on. No more than 100. I'm in at 95. It's 100. No. You see, that was my top bid, but someone else has bid 100. If I go on again, that's 110. And remember, it all happens so quickly, just a couple of clicks, it would jump to 150 plus your commission, then they owe you 200, and then you've paid too much. So forget about them, move on. Let's go and buy that gorgeous bowl. And what a good looking bowl this is. It's Chinese, positively 19th century, decorated in famille rose, painted by hand using enamel paints. It might be described as a punch bowl, but it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be used for anything these days, apart from just something that looks the business, especially on its hardwood stand. As I've mentioned previously, when talking about glass or pottery or porcelain, you've got to look out for damage, repairs, cracks, and things that you can't see. And so you scan these objects with your eyes and with your hands. Oh, a bit of wood's just fallen off. Oh well, we'll come back to that in a minute. Luckily, that's not the most important thing. But anyway, so on to the most important thing. So you use your fingers, you use the touch to feel for nibbles. You can even, when you find a little bit of something that looks like restoration, you can use your teeth. I kid you not. Make sure nobody is watching me. This one I don't think has had any restoration, but if you found a little bit of an area, say on the lip here, that looked like it had been retouched, you use your teeth like this. And you tap your teeth along the edge. Chinese porcelain will be rock hard, and your teeth are very sensitive. And they can sense the hardness of the porcelain. But when it comes to restoration, it's a little softer, so you will sense the softness in the porcelain. Try it. Find something at home that's been restored. It works. Your teeth are amazing tools when it comes to the antiques business. So beautifully painted, a little bit of wear on the paint. That's to be expected. You know, the thing's 150 years old. So it looks good with the eye, it feels good with the teeth and the hands. But has it had a crack in it that may have been repaired or is hidden like a hairline? Let's give it the tap test. Here we go. It rings as good as any church bell. There are no cracks, no problems with this bowl. Now, I think it was made for the Western market. It's very much in the taste of the European. So an export piece, which means that the Chinese buyers are unlikely to want to buy it back. So if you've got something Chinese at home and you think it's going to be worth a fortune because you've seen shows telling you that Chinese objects are worth a fortune, well, some are. But it's the pieces that were made for the Chinese market, not export Western pieces that the big wealthy Chinese buyers want to buy. This one doesn't fall into that category, but it's a really good retailer here in Britain. So a good antique with its stand. That was the owner of the auction that walked by there. I hope he doesn't think I've broken it. But anyway, all it needs is a little bit of glue and that will be fixed. In fact, I think I haven't fixed it. But the great thing with antiques is, you know, just get a bit of super glue on these things. It does the job fine. So, £300 to £400. It's ringing like a bell all of the time. I'm going to have a go at it. My bid will be, remember, your profit in this business is in the buying. I'm going to bid 300. That's it. If I don't get it for 300, I don't want it. I can sell it for maybe 500, but I've got commission on top of the 3. So any more than that, it's going to be a lot of hard work for no money. So 300 is my bid. How much do you think it's going to sell for? Let's go and find out.
201, Chinese bowl.
And I want it desperately.
At 200.
Absolutely, I'm in.
201 at 200.
There we are, I'm in.
40.
Outbid. In again.
60.
In front.
80,
Come on,
80
baby.
a half.
Outbid again. That's
300.
it, 300. That's as
20.
far as that. Oh, here we go again.
340.
Okay, I'm out.
With Sauron.
Let's just see how much it
360.
sells for.
360 with Sauron. 360, 80. 380 still with Sauron. At 380. At 380 pounds. Bids with Sauron. At 380 and selling at 380 pounds. All down.
Lovely thing. But at 380 plus the auction commission takes it to about 495. Just too much for me. But how close were you to the final estimate? Do let me know. Let's move on. Let's go and bag ourselves a bit of silver. And this really is a very saleable thing. So dated 1918 Birmingham. It's got all the hallmarks on the base there. And, you know, reading British hallmark silver is about the easiest thing you will ever do in the antiques business. So never be afraid of silver. If you see someone, you buy it. Just go and buy a little book about that big online for about a £5. It'll have all the hallmarks in there. And if you can't be bothered to do that, just Google British hallmarked silver marks and you'll find everything you need to find. So remember, like most things in this business, it's not rocket science, but this thing is truly stylish and quite interesting, bearing in mind it was made in 1918. 1918 was the end of the First World War. So between 14 and 18, not very many things in the Art Nouveau style were being made. We were too busy fighting and killing one another to make pieces of art. So it's unusual, I think, to come from 1918, and it just predates by a few years the Art Deco movement, which is much more angular and probably more modern today. But the classic antique lovers love a little bit of Art Nouveau. And just how wonderful would this be with your loved one, your child or your dog? Who cares? Just put a picture inside this thing and it will really, quite literally, bring it to life. So check for condition. Silver is a very soft metal, and it's dead easy to dent and mark. There's a few little dings in it. It's been probably over polished. You can see the scratch marks in it, but you have to be a little forgiving at this kind of level. 60 to 80 quid. Very nice back. Look at that easel back. Can you see how it's not flapping? It's not broken. It's still quite tight. The oak frame is good, and that's a really good sign to see a piece of polished oak. It just shows that the quality is there. So taffeta inset, which is probably original. A good retailer, I think, in a shop, what could you put on that? 150, 160. So you need to be getting it right at the bottom, 60 to 80. So I'm just thinking aloud here, forgive me. I'm going to bid 80 quid plus commission. It's going to owe me 100 and a little bit. You could put 160, 180 on it. It's not going to make you a fortune, but it's just, it's a shop filler. A very nice one at that, and you would never be ashamed of owning it. It's just very, very pretty. So that's it. That's going to be my bid. I'm going to go 80 on this. How much do you think it's really going to make? We're going to find out now.
341 in 20 silver mounted diesel photograph frame.
I'm ready.
That's 35 bid.
I'm in.
35.
I'm in the lead.
Frame there at 45, 50.
50. I'm in the lead.
50 next, 50 bid, 560.
I'm going to bid again.
Thank you, easy. And I bid at 65 serum.
I'm in the lead.
70 bid, 75.
I'm in the lead at 75.
80, 85.
80. I'm not going anymore.
80 with easy
That's someone else's bid.
Serums out bids with easy live at 80 and 5 is next for this lot. Are we all done and finished and selling?
Can't do it.
At £80. The easy live bid at £80. Are we all done?
Well, £80 is the right money, but I was pipped to the post there by another online bidder, and it's not my job as a dealer to keep on bidding and pushing the price up. If you don't get it for the price you need to get it at, you need to stop and move on. I didn't buy a thing, and you might be thinking, well, that's a bit of a disaster. Well, actually, no, it isn't, because as a dealer, you need to buy things at the right price. Anybody just can keep on bidding and pay too much. Do that, you won't make any money. In fact, even worse, you will lose money. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below, how close to the final hammer price did you get? Keep in touch and keep popping back here to YouTube for more antique related shows. I'm David Harper. Until next time, cheerio.